There's a moment in every parent's life when they look at their child and realize they can give them everything except experience. This is the story of Mark Daniels, a successful man from Nashville, Tennessee, a father who had built a comfortable life from scratch. He grew up poor, worked 2 jobs through college, and promised himself his kids would never struggle like he did. And for years, he kept that promise. But one day, he began to wonder, had I given my son too much comfort and too little character? Mark's only son, Evan, was smart, funny, and full of potential, but also careless. He had a new phone every year, designer shoes, and a life most kids would envy. But he'd never worked a single day for any of it. While Mark woke up before dawn to run his company, Evan slept in until noon. He'd spend his afternoons playing video games, hanging out with friends, and posting pictures online with captions like, "Living the dream." Mark watched him one morning and thought, he's living a dream I built, not one he earned. So, one evening at dinner, Mark put down his fork, looked straight at his son, and said, "Evan, from tomorrow on, you'll only get dinner if you earn it." Evan froze, unsure if his father was joking. But the look on Mark's face told him, this time he was serious. The next day, Evan didn't work. Instead, he went to his mom. "Dad's gone crazy," he said. "He wants me to earn dinner." His mom sighed, pulled a $20 bill from her purse, and said, "Just take this, honey. Don't worry about it." That evening, Evan walked into the kitchen, handed his father the 20, and said proudly, "Here you go, I earned it." Mark smiled slightly. "Good," he said. "Now go throw it in the backyard fire pit." Evan blinked. "What?" "Why, because," Mark said, "if you earned it, throwing it away shouldn't bother you." Evan shrugged, tossed the bill into the flames, and sat down to eat. Mark didn't say a word, but he knew his son hadn't learned anything yet. The next morning, Mark asked his wife to visit her sister for a few days. When Evan woke up, hungry and expecting breakfast, Mark said calmly, "Same rule, son. Earn your meal." Evan sighed, rolled his eyes, and went to his grandfather, who lived a few blocks away. Grandpa laughed and handed him a few dollars. That night, Evan gave the money to his father again. Mark asked, "Throw it in the fire pit." And just like before, Evan did it, without hesitation. That night, Mark called his father and said gently, "Dad, please don't give him anything tomorrow. He needs to find his own way." The old man understood. The next morning, Evan woke up late. The fridge was empty. His stomach growled. He looked around. No mom, no grandpa, no backup plan. So, for the first time, he walked out into the neighborhood to look for work. He asked around at the gas station, the grocery store, even a lawn care company. Finally, a small hardware shop owner said, "You can stack these boxes out back for $10. Evan agreed. By noon, his hands were blistered, his back sore, and sweat dripped down his face. When he finally got paid, those $10 felt heavier than any wallet he'd ever held. That evening, he walked home with dirt on his jeans, his shirt soaked in sweat, and a quiet pride in his chest. He handed the $10 to his father. Mark said the same words as before. "Throw it in the fire pit." Evan froze. Tears welled in his eyes. "Dad, no please. I worked all day for this. My back hurts, my hands hurt. I earned this money." Mark looked at him quietly for a moment, then smiled. "And that, son," he said softly, "is the lesson. You only feel the pain when the money comes from your own effort. Now you understand what I've been trying to teach you all along." Evan didn't eat right away. He sat there thinking, really thinking for the first time in his life. He realized his father wasn't being cruel. He was being honest. That night, after dinner, Evan went to his room and opened his phone. He deleted all his living, the day of photos. Then he opened a job search site and started applying for summer work. He didn't tell his father, but Mark noticed. He noticed the early mornings, the extra effort, and the growing confidence in his son's eyes. By the end of the summer, Evan had saved up a few $100s. He bought his own laptop. Nothing fancy, but his. He took his father out for lunch and paid for the meal himself. When Mark tried to thank him, Evan smiled and said, "No, Dad, thank you, I finally understand. You didn't want my hunger, you wanted my growth." Friends, this story isn't just about a father and son. It's about all of us, parents, kids, dreamers, and workers. We live in a world where everyone wants the shortcut. Everyone wants the comfort without the climb. But here's the truth. Nothing you get easily ever feels valuable. Real value comes from struggle, from sweat, from choosing to move forward even when it hurts. Because when you earn something truly, earn it changes who you are inside. It gives you pride that no one can buy for you and peace that no one can take away. Maybe today you're listening to this and realizing you've been living for others, for their approval, for their applause, for their expectations. You don't owe the world your perfection. You owe yourself your effort. Stop living for others. Start building for yourself. Because your worth isn't measured by what you were given, it's measured by what you've earned. Work hard, stay humble, and never forget the things that cost you the most will mean the most. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.